Did you watch horror movies growing up when you were a kid? There were very few that actually scared me, but Birds from Alfred Hitchcock was one of them at the time. Now not so much, but back then it scared me. So I thought it would be fun to do a Birds themed manicure in black and white to kind of celebrate Hitchcock and all the stuff he did for horror movies and horror film. So we're just going to keep it simple with Greyjoy from Maniology and Straight Up Black from Maniology. I'm going to use Greyjoy as a base. And part of the reason I bought so many grays from Maniology is I was actually having a really hard time finding any gray polishes in my area. Not to mention stamping polishes. Those were a no-nos. So I ended up buying 2 or 3 different grays from Maniology. And depending on how detailed you wanted to get this, you could go in and sponge in different grays, do different lines to make it look more like black and white TV. But I really like how the end effect came out on this. As you see, it's pretty gray just on its own. I'm going to use some Queen around the edges because after I do some light stamping for some birds that are going to be in the background, we're going to do some sponging and stuff around the edges. So what I'm looking for here is I'm trying to make a difference in sizes of the birds so that you can see some in the distance, some coming closer. It gives your nails a lot more depth when you can show different sized images on the actual nail. So I'm starting out with this, and then I'm going to go in and use an old makeup sponge. I just use this, like, it sits on my desk kind of just for whatever I need. It looks skanky, but I promise you there's nothing wrong with it. I just have used it to like clean up a quick acetone spill, that kind of stuff. So it looks awful, but I promise you it's not totally dirty. I think I ended up changing it out because it was a little crusty on the end and I couldn't get it to work. But what I did is I took some Straight Up Black and I just dabbed it very lightly on the edge, and it was still too dark. So I would recommend, before you do this on your nails, dab it off on something else first and then start sponging, because you don't want a heavy black rim around the edges. You just want it to look a little bit fuzzy. And then I'm going to take some top coat and intentionally smear this. Like, I'm dragging my brush. I'm pushing down and dragging my brush through that black. I want it to smear. Even with the birds, I don't care if it smears. That's the whole look I'm going for on that. And then I went back in with a little bit of gray and kind of dabbed back into it again just to kind of lighten it up a little bit. It had gotten a little too wide for what I wanted. And it covered up some of the birds a little bit, but to me that even makes them look even more in the distance, so I don't care. And I'm going to go back in and just start stamping different bird images across the nails. You got to kind of pick, which nails you want to be your really, like, your accent nails. There's accent nails and then there's accent nails. And when you stamp, you have accent nails. So what I've done is just kind of gone through and picked some images that I think are going to look better on their own. Some, based on my nails that are a little bit longer, a little bit shorter than other ones, which ones I might be able to fit where. And I'm just going to play with it and start putting down these designs. Now, this Edgar Allan Poe plate that I'm using, you can get that from Maniology, but it looks different now. It's bigger now and has more images combined onto it. I actually had the original set and they were just the little smaller square ones. But this plate is available. It's super cute. I love it. I used it last year for Halloween. And a completely different design, but I love it. So again, I'm just going to stamp some birds that are flying across the nail. I don't remember what it was about this movie that scared me when I was a kid, but it scared the bejesus out of me. Stupid things scared me. I'll tell you about another one with another Manny I'm going to do, but there were 3 movies. Okay, I'll just tell them to you. There were 3 that scared me growing up. One of them was Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, which I do not blame for my hatred of raw tomatoes to this day. It's something completely different. But for some reason, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes scared me. We used to watch Elvira, and that was one of them. The Exorcist scared the bejesus out of me, and Birds, for whatever reason. Like Freddy and all that stuff, not even close to scary. Okay, top coated everything. It's all stamped down. We've got lots of birds. I love how this came out. I hope you liked it too. You can watch another video if you click in the upper right hand corner. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.